My name is Carrie Prado. I own Overlook Coffee, and I just purchased Retro Coffee in February. So I just want to talk a little bit about that and what's going on with my Overlook business. So I got into coffee after my husband had a motorcycle accident. I took some time off. I used to sell insurance. So I worked at State Farm for 12 years and he needed some surgery. So I took some time off. I worked at a nursing home, and then an ex-customer of mine at State Farm messaged me and said, hey, I'm working for this coffee roaster. I think it would be low stress. They need an accounts manager. So I started working at Pisgah Roasters off of 280 in Pisgah Forest, and then I worked there for 3 years, and then I left there to be a manager at Crank Coffee in Pisgah Forest. It was inside a bike shop, so that's where I learned about nutrition, smoothies, honing my craft, because before I was doing accounts managing, freight, I got us into Ingles, Publix, that sort of thing at Pisgah Roasters, so it was nice to manage the actual cafe part. And then Sycamore sold. It was a small business. He sold to Specialized Bikes, so then it became a corporate, which I didn't prefer working for a corporate. So I was there about August to March. And then the opportunity came up at the outlet mall. Someone had asked me, hey, would you like to manage this space? It's available for lease. And I was like, let me think about it. I don't really want to work for someone else anymore. I kind of want to do my own thing. I feel like I've ran $1 million company now, and now I know how to manage a shop. I know how to do inventory. I feel like I could be confident on my own. So I was telling a customer of mine that, and her name's Trouty. She goes by Trouty. So Trouty was coming by. She comes by every day of the week except Thursday to get her cappuccino. So I was telling her, and I was like, hey, I think I'm gonna name it Overlook. Here's a sketch of what I want the logo to be. And so I was like, I think I have enough money. I'm probably short about $10,000, $20,000, but I think I could make it work, where I could maybe do a GoFundMe or something where people could invest up front. And then the next day she wrote me a check for $10,000, told me to follow my dreams, to figure it out, pay her back when I could. So at that point I had about $30,000 to start the business, but I still wanted a little bit more because I needed, just pricing everything out, I would need payroll and employees. So that's how I really started. I ended up getting another person to invest in me, another $10,000. So with theirs, I had my $20,000 and their $20,000. Yeah, so that's how Overlook started. Opened up at the outlet mall, and at that point they were not under Tanger. They were under a smaller operation, which I really love because the girls in the office and the general manager had full autonomy of who was coming in. They supported a lot of local businesses at that point in the outlet mall, like Shop Southern Loft, Pretty as a Peach, Mountain Merch. They were all about local community. All of the food court tenants are local tenants, and they have been for a while. I know there's a milkshake place that left, but yeah, so I really liked the local aspect. They loved what I was doing, that I supported over 20 small businesses in the area. And then that sort of changed when Tanger took over. They told me they supported local, but they started changing things pretty rapidly. I used to get free marketing throughout the mall. They took that away. So I no longer had any presence at the Tesla stations, not at the entrances of the mall. They were saying it was gonna be $800 a month if I wanted marketing. They made me take my chalkboard sign down. I couldn't have an open and close sign. They closed the visitor center, so someone wasn't helping give out coupons or answer questions. They took out the kids' rides in the food court, so the food court started becoming desolate. We can't leave our doors open, things like that. So that was really the decline of them supporting local. As soon as Tanger came in, Shop Southern Loft was kind of pushed out for Crocs. Pretty as a Peach ended up leaving. I don't know the exact specifics on that. And then it came down to me, and so that's actually how I acquired Retro, or why I acquired Retro. Was to be I was like, okay, I need something where I have more autonomy, keep it local. My friend actually that started Retro, we worked together at that Crane Coffee. So Claire started her business, and then 6 months later I started mine. So she really was like the catalyst of like, you can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. Definitely supported that. So acquiring Retro, Claire had some personal matters and she was needing to relocate pretty expeditiously. She was also asking another friend if they wanted to purchase it, but they weren't planning to be here long term, and I've lived in Western North Carolina my whole life, so I don't plan to leave. So I was like, hey, if they're not interested or it doesn't work out, like I think I could swing like paying you a down payment and then paying off the rest in a few weeks. It's my slow season, but like this would be good for me to have in case something happened at Tanger, or you know, and also we were slow, so it would be a good to build my business that I had 2 locations to get income from. So I ended up acquiring that. It is debt free, but she does need a little bit of work. She's been here, Retro's been open, it'll be I think 3 years in October, so I definitely plan to keep the name. I'm working on the rebrand with the original lady that did Claire's logo, did my logo at Overlook, supporting her again. She's actually a barista here, Erin. So yeah, so we just try to really support our friends, support local. I'm bringing even more local into Retro I keep Back Porch Baking, which is a local bakery. I'm gonna add Caroline, who used to own Morsel Cookie downtown, who closed. We support Coffee Library. We're gonna bring in rotating drips, so Penny Cup Cooperative will be back. Dulce de Maria out of Black Mountain, they do gluten-free and vegan pastries, so we'll bring those in. We have Poppy Popcorn, Waynesville Sodas will be coming, Buddha Kombucha, just in fruition tea. Anyone that I supported at Overlook will now kind of come here in a smaller capacity. We're really focused here at Retro on pop-ups, supporting local artists, which I did that at Overlook, but because Tanger, they do a base rent plus percentage rent, so I was paying 10% of my sales to them after a certain break-even point. I had to charge artists like 25% to commission, so here I plan to lower it to 10%. I think it will be like the lowest that most people are doing, and that's just really to cover square fees and, you know, offset like staff and stuff. But yeah, I plan to keep doing that, keep doing the pop-ups, offering like permanent space to artists. I really love supporting people who do ceramics, things like that. Yeah, so it's gonna be fun. Overlook is closing June 1st. I will retain 1 staff from there, and I will retain 1 staff from Retro. We're doing a fundraiser June 1st here at Retro with Hyatt, our Back Porch Baking, vegan biscuits and gravy, a pay what you can. And so that will go towards paying the rent in June and supporting my staff that's leaving and the staff that's here. So I plan to give back to them as much as I can of that, every penny after I make my $19.50 for the rent. So we'll be closing just a little bit at Retro, and it's just to remodel. If we're gonna expand our menu, bring smoothies back, bring our frappes back, kind of do a hybrid of Overlook. I really love the fun flavor combinations. So yeah, it's just gonna be a little bit more me, and yeah, we're really excited. So it's gonna be a good thing. It is unfortunate that we're losing the community at the outlet mall, because I think people aren't excited about Starbucks being there. So I hope people will go to Raz, who's across the street at Sardis, or pop on over to West Asheville, and we have Haywood Common, Bad Manners, Cooperative Coffee Shop. There's some really good ones within 10 minutes that people just can support instead of Starbucks. People here at Retro, we're off Sweeten Creek, in the Sweeten Creek Plaza, near Pelican Snowball, you know, the car wash. She's a little run down, but we're hoping that gets fixed soon. I follow our social media for when we're closing, and we'll have a grand reopening with some like giveaways, prizes. We're expanding our loyalty card program, so right now after you buy 10 drinks, your 11th is free. We're also going to do that, extend that to beans, our coffee beans, so that we can promote bring it home. We're going to extend it to chai as well, because we really just want people in this economy, like, we love that you come here, but I also want to support you doing stuff at home and saving a little bit of coin. So yeah, we're excited to have you and hope to see you soon.